Hey guys,
Yes.
guess what?
What?
These are my motherfucking chairs.
I know. Yeah. Okay.
Those are amazing.
We're starting the
can't-
pod with a chair update here.
Are they fuzzy?
Yeah, they're like
teddy bears.
Sherpa. Yeah.
I love them.
They're like skin teddy bears turned
Yeah.
into a chair.
Are you worried about the kids getting them dirty?
You know, I have look at my dining table. You see the towels covering chairs and like a tablecloth. So
Yeah.
yes, but they are really good about only having food at the table and not walking around the house with it. And I'm an animal about cleaning their hands after they eat. And now they're so used to it that they don't like dirty hands. So
Okay.
I hope that means the chairs are safe.
Okay. Because my mom was always strict about the chairs. She was always like, I just Scotch guarded the chairs. Don't get on the chairs. Please be careful with the chairs.
I never understood a Scotch guard.
Well, now that I'm a 40-year-old elderly woman, I understand the importance of chairs and the value of chairs. So I feel your mom in a real way.
Totally. I totally get it now. But at the time, I'm just like, who cares? It's just a couch, as a kid.
A word from our sponsors. If saving more and spending less is one of your top goals for 2022, why are you still paying insane amounts of money every month for wireless? Switching to Mint Mobile is the easiest way to save this year. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you maximize your savings with plans starting at just $15 a month.
That's right. So for people looking for extra savings this year, Mint Mobile offers a premium wireless for just $15 a month, like Kass said. By going online only, you also eliminate all the traditional costs of retail. And all the plans come with unlimited talk, text, high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. So to get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/pajama. That's mintmobile.com/pajama. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/pajama.
Look, all right, everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is Rob's first pod off.
I know.
We've never done a pod with Rob. It's his birthday, but that's not why he's not here. Rob would love to be here. Unfortunately, Rob is on an opposite schedule because he's been playing poker at night.
Okay.
And since we've got to all go to Palm Springs this weekend for my brother's wedding, we've got to get up at like 6 a.m. to beat the traffic. He's completely flipped his schedule so he can be awake for that Friday morning trip to Palm Springs.
What do you mean?
Because Rob normally likes to sleep in.
He's like, you have to train him. Like he trains his body because of all his like different habits, or like even like when we were doing the commercial and he knew I was going to have to get up early, he had to start prepping like 5 to 6 days before to get his body on a normal schedule, basically. Like he doesn't have a normal schedule, right, Kass?
He doesn't. Yeah. He's the world's most interesting man.
Truly. And when you know him too, like he has to poop like in the morning. So he has to wake up. He told me he's leaving with you at 7 a.m. on Friday, right? So he told me he has to wake up at 4:30.
He's not here. It's just the gals. It's a gal pod.
Hell yeah.
The lovely Sara Weinshank of the Shank podcast and of the This Bitch podcast.
Yeah.
She's a bad girl when she puts a curse word, when she's got a cuss in her podcast name.
I just need people to remember it.
This Bitch. It's a great name.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just me, Jamie, and Sara. So we thought, look, I've got Sharpie.
Wow.
Jamie, could you do me a favor and look at me while we pod? That's it. I'm going in on you today.
I was just texting the parent that had my child something.
I know. I was just giving you a hard time.
Being responsible mom.
Yeah, look, you guys saw the chair update at the beginning. Thank you for all the folks. There was another email in there, I think, about the chair. I've never seen our community rally around a topic like they have this chair thing. Jamie had like sort of a I don't know if you know, I don't know if you read the news,
What?
but she had a very long and sort of like roundabout,
arduous, like very arduous journey.
This guy in
have
England,
chairs.
she bought these fancy chairs, as you saw.
We
luxurious.
love the chairs. I want to hear about the tumultuous story.
Well, I'll give you just the long and short of it. It was the guy just was very poor at communication. And they had to go through customs, so there's a lot of paperwork involved.
No, you forgot so much.
What? He was out of town.
Before that, I wired him money and he went radio silent for like 5 days.
No.
Thousands of dollars.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So I'm like, wait, where's my fucking shipping information? So that's a very important thing. So then when Kass goes, he was on vacation. So that was why he didn't respond to me.
Yeah.
Continue. Now, Kass, you continue the story.
That's about it.
I mean, I would feel so
they wanted my social security number and a picture of my social security card for the delivery. And I was like, I'm being fucking
a lot of red flags.
Swindled. They're stealing my identity is what I thought. But I got chairs. So maybe, you know what? Maybe they actually did steal my identity, but I have the chairs, so I'm no longer going to investigate. Maybe this is the real fucking scheme.
Wow. So I'm so glad that's been taken care of. I know our listeners are going to be able to sleep easy tonight. I did want to, commemorate Rob's birthday without Rob being here. If we just go around and we said one nice thing about Rob, just one. I'm going to limit it because I don't want to spend too much time on Rob's birthday. You know what I mean? We've got a pod to do. I'll start. I wanted to give you time.
Okay, I appreciate that. Go ahead.
We kind of already brought it up, but Rob has completely turned his schedule around, in part so he could make it to my brother's wedding, which is happening in Palm Springs. He is very loyal. He's the most loyal friend.
Yes. But you said one thing. This is now two.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But waking up early isn't that's not a trait. I will say that's tied to loyalty. His loyalty. Yeah. Okay. And there's so many other things, but I've never seen anyone have he has friends that just go back to when he was a kid. I would say it's really hard to be friends with Rob. Like if you're trying to enter into a new friendship with Rob now, tough.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
That's going to be a tough ask. It'd be easier to get into the Soho house.
I get that though, because the older you get, the more exhausting it is, and you have your friends.
Yeah. Yep. But how many of those friends from childhood are you still friends with?
Not as many as Rob.
No, it's the people you met in your mid to late 20s, early 30s that's your fucking crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. I consider Jamie somebody who I've met recently within the last few years, but she's penetrated the inner circle, the sanctum.
Hell yeah.
I can take on a new friend, but what I do is I expel an old friend every time I bring somebody on board to keep the occupancy. Just in case there's a fire.
You're at full occupancy, are you?
I'm maxed out, baby.
It's like take a penny, leave a penny.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm, with friends.
Yeah, some people just take pennies. And before you know it, you're going to need to roll those bad boys up, go to the bank. I'm trying to avoid a trip to the bank.
I get that.
I want 18 cents at all times.
Simple.
What's your, what about you with Rob?
His authenticity. To me, I love that Rob is who Rob is, no matter who, what, where. He is the most self-assured person. He just knows himself and he honors himself. And if he doesn't agree with something, he'll say it, but in a very kind way.
Yeah.
He's, I really have always admired that about him since he was young, since he was a kid. I remember being kids starting Sopranos and, as a kid, naturally, especially kid actor, you're people pleasing. You know what I mean? You want to be a good girl and you want to them to tell you did a good job so you can go home and, because it's scary to be on a set with adults and hold your own. It's very intimidating. So you need a lot of validation. Rob never needed it. Never fucking needed it. And I remember just looking at him being oh, I wish I could be like you. So I really, really admire that about him.
He has that in spades, to the point where if he can't be somewhere and like, if he has to put on a face, or if he is in a situation where it's just like, he'll remove himself from, he'll like leave a party early, or he like won't go to a hang because he's like, it's just going to be a bunch of people talking like small talk. And like, he doesn't like that.
That's what I mean though. Like he honors himself. He's like, that's not going to be for me. I'm just going to, but you're like, okay, like you respect it. He means nothing by it. He just knows for him, it's not ideal.
Right.
I get that.
What's your favorite thing about Rob?
His sense of humor.
So fun. Underrated sense of humor.
He's so funny.
He's one of the funniest guys I've ever met.
Yeah.
But everyone just sees him as like I don't know, like the kind of New Yorky sort of like get to the point, snappy, sharp-witted guy. But his sense of humor is actually really goofy and weird. Some of the stuff that we'll get into that we laugh the hardest at, I think he would just be embarrassed to say because it's just so goofy. Borderline homosexual.
What do you mean? I think everybody gets that from Perry whatever his name is.
You say his name right on this pod, Jamie. Perry Caravello.
Thank you. It's quite the tongue twister.
It is.
Okay, so Rob's out of the way. He's not in the room. I don't want to speak of him anymore. However,
okay.
We did have we kind of pierced the stratosphere as a podcast this last week. We kind of went viral.
Yep.
Let's talk about it.
I don't want to.
Well, the thing is, it's none of us. It's none of us.
I can't really brag because I'm not involved in any way. I'm only the person that posted it. But there was a video that we posted on our Instagram and on our TikTok of Rob's dad watching the Super Bowl commercial and finding out in real time that his son was in the commercial. And somehow that just broke. As of today, it's like almost 11.5 million views.
Wow.
On
I've
Instagram
never
and
been this close to anything this special other than Sopranos.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like a deep fake porno of you out there that has millions of views. You got one of those, right? You can't be a woman in entertainment and not have a deep fake nude.
There was deep fake nudes of me on Reddit. And I honestly was like, I wasn't mad at it because I was like, this looks better than I actually look. So if you guys want to circulate this.
Oh, please. I can't imagine it looking better.
No.
I get to see the real thing. Once a month.
Once a month.
Once a month, she disrobes for me.
Only once a month.
Yeah.
What a day that is.
Yes.
It's always a Friday.
Yeah.
Kicks off the weekend. So
I get it. Friday's a vibe,
Friday's a vibe. What's funny on this Instagram video, get a lot of people. I don't know how it works, but I guess most of those views came from Facebook. So when you post something on IG, it also goes to Facebook. And so a lot of people who don't subscribe or know what our pod is seeing this video. And a lot of the number one comment I was getting was, who's Rob? It was like, oh, these people have no idea what they're watching. They're just seeing a video of a guy watching a Super Bowl commercial.
Well, it's also like a feel good.
But that's weird. Like that to me is like, that's what I'm like, that's what people are spending their time doing, is watching videos of something they have no idea what's happening, of a person they don't know at all. Like, this is what you're fucking doing with your day?
Right.
Yeah.
We have, Rob just told us.
Sarah,
we have
I'm dying in your face. You're like, yes, James.
It's crazy.
Our mutual friend, Mark, who I think you've met, Jamie, down in San Diego, said he was just on Instagram and randomly was scrolling through like reels. You know how you do. And he randomly saw that it's on an account that he doesn't follow us on.
Right. It was like a suggested.
Yeah. And it was a suggested reel and it just came up there. So I imagine that's how a lot of people.
Oh, it probably went to the explore page.
It had to have done, it had to have gone to somewhere.
Yeah.
With the amount of views that we've got. So if you're new to this pod, if you found us from the Super Bowl commercial that Jamie and Rob did, or from the TikTok or Instagram posts, welcome to the pod. We do it every week. It is a catch up of three friends And all we do is talk. It's the best. It's the number one Sopranos podcast.
Yeah, that's right. Tushy's back, guys. Tushy is back. It's been a minute. We haven't stopped talking about pooping or things like that, but we haven't had Tushy.
Yeah, we haven't had Tushy. I just used my Tushy, by the way, just before using this pod. I got to tell you, I was a big wet wipe guy before I started using a Tushy bidet. And every time I'd flush one of those things, I'd go like, I don't think this is good for my pipes. Do you know what I mean? They say they're flushable, but are they? And plus, I'm using way too many of them. So why wouldn't I just use
it's also not like a natural way to clean something off. Like you normally would just use water, right? To clean something off because it doesn't have burns or anything. So stop spreading your business around your butthole with toilet paper. Start washing with Hello Tushy bidets.
By the way, it's easy as hell to install. I installed one in less than 10 minutes. It attaches to your current toilet. No need to go out there and get a completely new thing. It works on just about any toilet.
So we want all of our listeners to have clean bums. Visit hellotushy.com/pajama to get 10% off plus free shipping right now. Tag us and Hello Tushy on social media so we can celebrate your clean butt with you. That's hellotushy.com/pajama for 10% off. Well, you don't want a therapist like Sara has right now, who is just brushing her, shutting her down, asking her to end sessions early. Yeah. And still charging her an arm and a leg. Yeah. You should be using BetterHelp, okay? Because a lot of us will drop anything to help someone we care about. Well, when we go out of our way to take care of ourselves the way we take up other people, no. So this month, BetterHelp Online Therapy wants to remind you that you matter just as much as everyone else does. And therapy is a great way to make sure that you show up for yourself.
That's right. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp Online Therapy. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Pajama Pants listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/pajama. That's BetterHelp.com/pajama. Now back to the pod. Okay, so I have some emails, some IG responses, but I think we got to talk about a dream Sara had last night.
I had a very vivid dream. It was not good. I'll tell you that. It was not good. You were in the mall. You left me in the mall and you left me for another woman. And then when I went to go, I was like, the only thing I need right now, I was so pissed. And I was like, I'm going to go get a ice blended mocha from Coffee Bean to forget about this. And then I went to Coffee Bean and it wasn't there. It was Lids. It was like, and it was just, I was outside of Lids in the mall and you dumped me. And you were showing.
Oh, I dumped you.
You left me for another girl.
Well, who's the girl?
She was some girl that I did open mic comedy with that I haven't seen in years.
For another comic.
Buy the rights to this story. I would watch this movie. This would be a great independent film, you guys.
It was terrible.
Well, she was like very restless last night. And it was like you had an emotional response to it.
Yeah, because when you wake up and you're like, I can't really be pissed at this because it's something that happened in my mind.
Yeah.
It's like,
but you look at me and
in the morning, I'm like, who is this pig?
Has that ever happened to you, gosh. Jamie? Have you ever had a dream like that? And then the next day you look at Cutter and you're like, what's this man in my bed?
Yeah. I wish Cutter was on this right now to answer this question, because there's mornings where he'll wake up and he'll look at me and he'll be like, oh God, what did you dream? I'll just be like so disgusted with him, mad at him. Because I think it's just like the thought of him doing that. And then I'll be like, well, he could do that. He could. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he could actually do that to me. And then I get mad.
Yeah. And then I'm also like, what are dreams really? I'm like, at night, or is this like an alternate reality?
Yeah.
Where at night you go to another dimension and hang out with this other girlfriend.
Well, I I started thinking about like, oh, am I putting out cheater energy? Do you know what I mean?
No, don't blame yourself.
Well, you could go down this dangerous hole where it goes like, well, I triggered this somehow. What did I do?
You don't take the blame.
Did I like?
That's nice of you to do that.
Did I hide a text message? Like, when she was sitting there, did I do something that would cause her to gain suspicion?
No, because I feel like you're a loyal partner. So I feel like it's my own insecurity manifesting somehow in a dream.
Let's go with that.
You know what I mean? Like, because you're it's not your fault. You know what I mean? That's like,
yeah. Did you talk to your therapist about it?
No.
Okay.
Because
I would love to get a therapist sort of point of view on it.
My therapist is worn out by me. My therapist is like, are things good? I'm like, yeah. He's like, great. I'll see you next month, honey.
Yeah.
Then he sends the bill and we move on. It's like,
Can you like prorate me 30 minutes, sir?
I know, because it's been so fast lately. And like, I guess that's good. I guess it's good if
what do you mean he like ends the session early?
He ends the session early and it's still the same price.
Yeah.
And it's been
That's not okay.
And it's been on Zoom.
He should have had things. Never, not BetterHelp.
No.
He should have had like notes. So if you run out of things to say, there's things that he can refer to and be like, oh, hey, well, you know what I've wanted to talk to you about? And then like, what? Be like, you good?
He should pry. You know what I mean? And he used to do that.
Yeah.
Now he's gotten a little lazy. He thinks I'm mentally sound.
Yeah,
he's like, she's good.
You should like plant something next time. Been like, yeah, I cut myself.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, I've been cutting myself. Everything's good, but when I get angry, I just put these little dashes in my arm with a razor blade. And
do you know?
Anyways, and just see what he says.
Do you know what the fucked up part is though? After therapy, I always think of the things I wish I brought up in therapy.
Yeah.
I got to get a list going.
You got to do a notes section in your phone. I did that.
That's a good idea.
I have the opposite problem with my therapist where he'll just hang in. And I think in my head, I'm like, oh, he's doing a technique where he pauses and then I fill the silence because I'm nervous.
They do that.
And then a couple times I've been like, look, do you mind if we just end early? Because I got nothing. He always makes me end early.
Yeah, that's what he does to me too. But if he's not going to force it out of me, because sometimes I'm just like, I don't feel like getting vulnerable today, but I'm making myself do this for my own health.
He needs to climb that wall a little bit.
I know.
He sounds like a good guy.
He is a good guy. He's like a cool old Jew dude.
Is he charging you a decent rate?
He's charging me a lot.
Okay.
I didn't think we were going to get into the dissatisfaction I feel with my
We might need to talk about it.
Yeah. This is Pajama Pants. This is what happens. We take sharp rights and sharp lefts.
Absolutely. Last pod, we were talking about poop. This pod, this girl's not going to do that, by the way.
I hate talking about poop. I'm like, I would rather talk about cum than poop.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm not
giving
you that as
no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. But Jamie, do you have experience with cum? And
I mean, yeah. Speaking of young love, listen to this story with Beau. He's been into this girl like this whole school year, Grace, and he played it off around Christmas. She like dumped him, and
no one dumps my Beau.
And he was like, it's fine. Grace and Harper both like me. And when Harper is Grace's best friend told Grace, well, I like Beau too. Grace said, fine, you can have him. So Harper came to Beau and was like, Grace is dumping you, but like, I like you. So Beau was like, so I'm with Harper now. And I'm like, okay, that's not really how it works, but all right. And so out of nowhere yesterday, he comes home and he says, Mom, I'm going to propose to Grace tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, you are? He's like, I really, really need a ring from you.
Whoa.
So I was like, all right, well, let's like go in my jewelry thing and see what costume should I have. Cause I have so much like junk, not junk, but like little things that I've worn in like 10 years that I would totally give him. So I'm looking at all my rings and there's nothing appropriate. And also I'm like, these are going to like fit her wrist. Like she's so little. She's in second grade. So I find this
She's in second grade and has an eating disorder, so she needs a real thin one.
So I find this like little gold necklace with a heart with like tiny, tiny, tiny little diamonds in it, but it's real, but it's like something I had probably since I was in like 19. So I was like, you can give her this if you want. And he was like, really? And I was like, yes, but like, give it to her. This is like real shit, Beau. This is probably like $150, like, or $200, whatever. Like, be good with this. He's like, okay, we wrapped it. He's like, do you have a ring box so I can like do this? And I'm like, no, but I have just like a jewelry case. Just put this in this. So we put it in his backpack. He's so excited to go to school today. I pick him up. He gets in the car. I'm like, so? He's like, she said yes. And I'm like, okay. But I should say on the way to school, I said to him, Beau, you're going to ask her if she can be your girlfriend, not your wife. Like, don't say wife. Like, you can't legally do this. Like, no. He's like, in middle school? I was like, no, dude. Like, after college is like when you do this. But you can ask her to be your girlfriend. So when she said yes, he said to being his girlfriend. I said, did you give her the necklace? He goes, yes, she loved it, but it got all tangled in the bag. So she gave it back to me and said, untangle it and give it to me when it's not tangled.
No.
Dude, I hate to say this. I don't like Grace. I don't like her.
But I'm kind of respect it because she's like, I don't have the time to untangle this or the patience. So like sort this out and bring it back.
I have such respect for Grace. I think she's a G. Like Grace
does have the time. She says,
G.
I don't have the time to untangle this. And then she walked over to the monkey bars and just like went across. Like, what do you mean you don't have the time?
Grace has balls.
She went in and just started digging a hole randomly in the sandbox. Like you don't have the time.
It made me so proud of Beau in his choice of women.
Wait,
I'm like, I like that this is who you're into.
Grace said she didn't want to have anything to do with Beau.
Because she got insecure for a minute. No, her friend Harper said, I like him too. And I think she got insecure. So she was like, well, you can have him. I don't want him. Like, she just didn't want the competition. So little Harper like knew what she was doing and went to Beau and said, Grace is dumping you, but I like you.
Harper is a snake.
Wait, no. I want Harper's story. Harper could be heartbroken right now. Harper likes Beau. And now Beau started going with Harper and then changed his mind and brought a ring box with a necklace in it for Grace.
He
proposed in the middle of the quad.
It's always been Grace from day one.
It's always been Grace.
He knew what he wanted right off the bat.
Beau knows what he wanted, and Harper was just a casualty of love war.
Yeah, it happens.
Did he get down on one unbended knee?
Yeah, he did.
In front of other kids?
Oh, but I haven't told you the best part yet.
This is incredible.
He had said to me joking, like, can I kiss her? And I was like, Beau, I don't know how things go down at your school in second grade, but like, no. And especially if you don't ask her, like, don't walk up on her and kiss her. Like, if you guys talked about it, I don't know what you guys do, but like, you know what I mean? Cause like in third grade, I 100% made out with somebody.
Third
grade.
In third?
I think I kissed my friend Bobby in second grade.
You did?
Yeah, just on the lips.
How'd that happen?
Yeah.
Nothing serious.
How'd that happen with Bobby?
I think it was a dare.
Was it?
You're messing around. You're finding all kinds of stuff about yourself when you're young.
I kissed someone in
and
an
when
arcade.
you're 38.
Yeah. Did you kiss Bobby last week?
Yeah, Bobby. I actually worked with Bobby at G4. Well, good for
So
both.
I did it. Well, no, so he didn't tell me that he kissed her. And then later we dropped out of baseball and my nanny was with me at soccer with Jack. And she said, I was like, how about Beau and Grace? Because he's been talking about it with everyone. And she was like, yeah, he told me about their kiss. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, oh yeah, he told me he kissed her. And I said, you did? How was it? And he said, well, it wasn't a normal kiss. It was a spicy kiss.
No.
I have no idea. So he told her, but not me.
Like bottle up his nose.
I don't know, but he's
that means
like
tongue. That means
these kids. I think Beau like knows a lot more because he's now in a school with older kids like than I think he knows. Do you know what I mean? Like this is where the scary part of parenting now, where I'm like, oh, I don't have 100% influence on him anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like he is out in the world, exposed to kids that are older than him, that have older siblings than that because he said something about some girl being hot. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, well, so-and-so's brother has TikTok, and we were at his house and we were watching the TikTok with his brother, and we saw one of this guys saying that girls are hot. So I'm like, oh, this is how you're like learning shit right now.
That's such a good point. As the older brother in my family, I didn't have an older brother myself to like show me the ropes, but I did have friends with older brothers, and I learned a lot from these people.
Same, nothing good.
Nothing
from the older brothers.
It was always like, here's why Bud Light's shit beer, and then like 45 minutes will tell you why craft beer, he's like, here's why David Lynch is the best director of all time. I had really like artsy cinema.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but like it got really annoying. He's like, Dario Argento is the greatest horror film director of all time. Tenebrae will stand the like.
Oh, and you were
like, dude, I just saw Godzilla in the theater last week. Like, I don't know who you think you're talking to, but it was nice to have, because as somebody who is very observant and like spent his whole life like making sure he didn't stand out in weird ways because he came from another country and didn't want to like be weird because I already felt like I was brown so I would always watch to see how people did things, but it was always kids my age. But when I, had friends with older brothers, I was like, oh, this is a whole new pool of resources I have access to.
Yeah.
Like, I see what they're wearing. I see how they're talking. I see the stuff that they're into. Like, feed me more of that. So I got attached to like a friend's older brother because it was like, oh, it's kind of like having a big brother. This must be what it's like.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's going to learn. Beau's going to learn a lot for sure.
Yeah. It's making me a little nervous.
I get it. I don't even have kids and I'm nervous.
Mm-hmm. She wants to adopt a Ukrainian baby.
I'm on that right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't watch it. If I see it, I cry. And I'm like, what can I do? She doom scrolls. Drop to Ukrainian
right before bed. She'll do, maybe this is why you had bad dreams.
It's definitely why I had bad dreams.
We both woke up in the middle of the night and I was scrolling Twitter and to find out about what was going on in Ukraine. And so were you, but we didn't know that we were each doing that.
No,
we did it at different times.
You did it different. You're not on schedule.
No, yeah, we're not on the same scroll schedule.
I don't want to get into a whole Ukraine thing here because I don't know enough to like even pretend to like have a point of view about it. But it is one of those things where, and people know that listen to this pod, it's all about China.
Yep.
This is all about.
We don't know where they stand.
We don't.
Oh, yeah, I know where they stand, and it's not on our side. Okay.
Well,
this has been your daily anti-Chinese sentiment.
But that's. I mean, obviously, seeing the devastating destruction and like trauma and like that it's doing to the Ukrainian people, like that. Obviously, first and foremost, is the absolute concern of what's going on, and it's completely heartbreaking. But I think another reason why the world is so fucking obsessed with this is for that reason. Like, what does this all mean? Like, this is crazy. Like, to think in 2022, we're fucking bombing other countries. So, like, like all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? In this way, well, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought, after COVID, like the beginning of COVID, before it was like the anti-maskers versus the maskers, there was this unification that happened. And it was like the collective was coming together, and that made me feel really happy and empowered because it was like humanity versus the virus. But and so that's why it's shitty that this is happening now after that, because you would think that after globally having this experience, we'd be able to evolve.
That's so beautifully said. That's exactly what I was trying to say with that, but that was perfect. Exactly.
We really got the range on this pod.
You know what? We just went from Beau like Frenching some child in second grade to like the devastation of the state of the world. Wow.
That's crazy.
I need to talk to you guys about when this pod comes out. My brother will now officially be married, but we will be attending the wedding. I'm so sorry you couldn't make it, but
I'm so sorry I can't.
You got a life, okay? And it's unfortunately not in Los Angeles anymore. But
I know,
so
but
nice
it was so
person.
nice to invite us.
Let's talk about best man speeches and what makes a good one. But first, let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsors.
Every morning, I start my day. I have a full 16 ounces of water, and then I have my athletic greens. And it tastes great. I kind of like the taste. You would think with something that is giving you all of these vitamins and minerals and probiotics and enzymes and all the things that you take so many pills and try to eat through so many foods that has no chemicals or artificial anything. And like I said, tastes good. Like, how could you not want to put this into your body every day?
So what is this stuff? With one delicious scoop of athletic greens, you're absorbing 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging, all the things.
You know what? It actually gives me energy. And then I just am in a habit of drinking coffee in the morning, but I feel like I almost don't need the coffee.
Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into the flu and cold season. It's just one scoop and a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/pajama. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/pajama to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Oh my, I can't wait to go to bed at night for so many reasons, but especially like when I'm getting to my bed and I look at it and I'm like, oh yes. Yeah. It's the Attitude sheets. Like, I know that amazing, soft, cool, by the way, like keeps you cool feeling where I like put my head on my pillow and it feels like heaven.
That's right. If you guys don't have a summertime bed sheet, a lot of us are coming out of winter and it's getting warmer. Get yourself a set of Attitude sheets because they really do help keep you cool. And nothing is better than coming home, being tired, going to bed, and not only having a clean set of sheets, but like a clean set of Attitude sheets. It's just the best way to cap your night.
So you get all of that goodness. And then guess what? It's made with the world's first clean bamboo fabric. They're softer than silk, sustainable as hemp, and use 500 times less water than cotton sheets. Okay. So you get the feel good and you know you're doing good. So right now you can get 20% off your order plus free shipping when you visit attitude.com/pajama, spelled ETTITUDE.com/pajama. This is Attitude's best offer, but don't wait. It's only for a limited time. So order today for free shipping and 20% off your order at attitude.com/pajama.
Let's talk best man speeches. Okay. What makes a good one? I've got to deliver one this weekend.
You're gonna.
It's not written yet.
It's not written. This will be my second best man speech. Okay, I did one for my cousin, which went really well. But I spent a little bit of time on it. But I thought it was too much like I was doing like a tight 5. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want to do that. What I want to come across is a not jokey, very heartfelt, personal endorsement of the marriage, a sort of like how proud I am of my brother, maybe a story of what it was like when we were younger, maybe a welcome to the family to the other side.
I got it.
Yeah,
I got it. I got the through line.
I got Sharpie ready. Go ahead.
So the idea of the what's going to tie all of them together.
The thread, if you will.
The thread will be him becoming the man he is today. Okay. And to be in this moment and to be ready for this time to stand up and be a husband.
Yep.
So what you can do is like start like, and these are ways you can rag on him, make fun of him in stories and memories that show his growth.
Yes.
and his maturity and why he is ready to take the leap and get married. Do you like it?
Yeah, I think you could start charging for consult.
I was actually just going to ask that. What do you think I could charge? Like $450 just for a thread?
Yeah.
That's good advice.
$450 for a thread. $600. I'll start writing some of it with you.
Yeah.
You know what? I've given very few, but like a handful of speeches in my life. Like I got honored at the Race to Erase MS, and there was like 3,000 people there, and I gave I was honored, and so it was like a big moment for me.
Did you get a cut of the door there?
No, fuck no. But I feel it, and the only reason I'm saying this, not to sound like conceited, but I'm saying this because I can genuinely feel it. Like I'm really good at speeches. Like it's something that comes really natural. Like it's a weird talent I have. Like, not to be dark, but like for my brother's eulogy, like I wrote it really fast, but it was like, I knew, like if everyone came up to me after, and that was the most beautiful eulogy. I'm just good at the threads. And I think like.
Now, are you reading or are you bullet pointing and then going off? Cause I usually bullet point. Okay. You do a full read.
Mm-hmm. If it was me, I'd do a bullet point. Like a set.
Well, you guys are comedians. Bullet points make sense. It's like what you do with your life, right?
But I feel like a eulogy is better to be read off a paper.
Well, yes, because you're.
Yeah, you don't want to look at anyone either. Yeah, you don't want to look anyone in the eye.
Yeah, you don't want to screw up the name.
That's crazy. My parents went to a funeral recently where they did screw up the name of the guy.
No.
Yes. And they said his son's name instead of his name. And my mom said it was so awkward.
Guys, I want to hear best man fails. We went to dinner with your friend and her husband, and he told me, because I was asking that same question. He was like, yeah, I was supposed to give the speech, but they had a third brother who came up and who was drunk and called the bride, the ex-girlfriend that the groom had dated, like by the name of the ex. And it was like, just like this monumental fuck up that is all they really remember from the speech. Now, I would like to have just a speech where everyone goes like, that was sweet. You know, they look at it and they go, he's a sweet guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah, just speak from your heart.
No, you want more than that. You want like,
I don't want
to. What a great guy. No, meaning like that was great. Meaning like you gave them all the feelings to feel about your brother, but they could be like, that was an awesome, like, because everyone there is going to know, most people are going to know your brother from like specific parts of his life. And then there's like the few that are like really close that have known forever. So yeah. I always find at a wedding, I love listening to the speeches because I love hearing about other parts and times of this person's life that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I like that.
Great.
Like little stories along the way that thread together.
This all sounds good, and I'm sure the reality will be me at like 11 a.m. on Saturday before the wedding being like, oh, fuck, I don't know what to, you know.
Well, it's okay.
We'll figure it out. But that's great advice. That really is.
I gave one time a really bad drunk speech.
Oh, at a wedding?
In my 20s, yeah.
Oh, yeah. What happened?
Well, I just started talking about how, because I was like drunk and in my 20s, I was talking about how her mom used to let us watch the Jean-Benet Ramsey case all the time. Like it just went off the rails.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't need to touch on that maybe in the wedding speech.
Totally. My last best man speech, I was very drunk, but I wasn't too far gone. But I had that swagger, you know, where I was like, I thought I was killing.
Oh no.
But I know it went okay.
But it went well.
It went well. You know, sometimes when you like say something and you like hold for the laughter and you're like, this is crushing.
Beat.
Yeah. You hold a beat and you're just like, this is good. That went well. And then like you carry that confidence into the next line.
Yeah.
This will be my first sober. And so when I'm sober, I overanalyze. I get.
You'll probably.
Are you going to get emotional?
I don't know.
Probably are.
Well,
oh my
I
God.
would
Please
like
take
to.
a video, Sarah, because I
will. I'll
really
take a
I need
video.
to see it. Okay.
Can I take it on your phone though? Because my camera's not as good. I don't need to
We
hear
got to work
about
out
it.
all these details.
Yeah.
We got to know whose phone.
And I got to clean the
airdrop it.
screen before because
Well, her camera's always like got fingerprints, always cloudy. Every time she shows me a photo, it looks like it was taken underwater or something.
I know, but also I'm like, I'm not a cinematographer. You get the gist
You're
of
not.
what was happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm doing the best I can.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
I do want to, since Rob is gone, I thought it'd be fun for us to look at a dating profile one of our listeners sent us.
Okay, great.
Now, I don't know if you've done this with us before. I don't think you have, but we will ask our listeners to send us a screenshot of their Hinge or their Tinder or whatever, and we will go through their photos and remark of what's working and maybe what's not. And at the end, we'll rate the overall profile in hopes of maybe giving them a little bit of advice on how to improve.
I'm worried for this part.
I have so much to say about this guy right now. Like I have so much to say.
I haven't really even looked at it, but I'm gonna pull up the
Okay, I haven't seen
photos.
Can I just start? Because I'm like bursting.
Okay, great. You're on the first one where it's Garrett 33. Okay, this is Garrett.
So just look at me. Look at him right now.
Yeah.
And just scroll as I'm talking right now. Okay.
Okay.
Who the fuck is this guy? In every single picture, he is a different human being. Like every single picture, he is a different vibe. He is a different like thing. Like what? You're in the military? Like what? Like you like to man bun with flowers on your shirt?
Yeah.
What? There's
He's got a lot of
pedal.
looks. He's got a lot of looks.
You play guitar? Like who are you? Are you gay? I'm so
okay.
confused.
She's going in on you, Garrett, right now, and I know Garrett's listening. Let's take it to the first photo. Okay. Let's talk about your cover photo.
And I'm not saying anything bad about him. I just feel like I just am not getting a full vibe. And for me, if I was looking at somebody, I would just be like, I don't know who this person is. I'm not going to swipe right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And like, if you have a man bun, to me, let's open with the man bun. You got to open with the man bun if you wear it regularly.
About the second photo.
The second photo takes a hard left.
Okay.
I agree with what Jamie's saying.
Yeah.
He's in a Golden Girls shirt with a man bun.
Yeah.
And in the first page, he looks like a commercial actor, kind of.
Yeah. And in the third, it's this adorable dog. The fourth is when he's doing like a weird kissy face with a drink and the hair down.
It's a completely different guy.
Okay. Here's what I will remark.
The next one, him and his dog, adorable. But then he's in the...
Jamie, I need you to slow down. I need you to slow down. You're all over the map right now. And I want to go just a quick remark on each photo. I've never seen you so riled up. This guy's triggering for you. Garrett, I don't know what you did to her.
And then by accident, though, I said he's in the military, but it's his Spotify playlist artists.
Okay.
But he has
that's so confusing because at a first glance, it does.
Or is that him?
No.
Or is it him?
Yeah. I don't think his Spotify playlist is U.S. Army, but I would think his Spotify artists are at the bottom, but those are pictures of him in the army.
Well,
and the top that has a little vaccinated thing, like, oh, is that a vibe now you got to put on the fucking dating apps? Like, I'm unvaxxed, I'm vaxxed. You guys, is that a thing you have to disclose now?
You don't have to. You can choose to.
I bet it's something I bet that's something that people could be like, are they vaccinated?
Yes.
Oh my God.
If you girls are scrolling, you were most recently last year on dating apps. What do you see vaccinated, a sticker like that, and go, is that a plus or a minus against this person?
I don't know. I'm so over the whole COVID vax. It just depends on like the other things about the person, I guess.
Okay. So we like his cover photo. Do we like it or do we not like it?
I like it.
It's a close up of his face. You're obviously being smoothed out with some filter here, which is fine. I like your eyes. I like your facial hair.
I'd like to see like maybe some teeth.
Okay, great. Now, I liked how you draw attention to the mouth area because in pictures
the first picture has vaccinated on it.
Yeah, I think all of them do.
Oh, all of them? Oh,
if we go to picture, Gabby, move to slide 4, where he's in a black shirt and he's got a drink and he's taking a photo in a mirror. He's doing something here with his lips that I saw in the profile photo. Garrett would love to see some teeth Would love to see some teeth. This thing that you're doing with your lips is, it looks like you just took a bite out of a sour warhead or something, which is fine.
He shows his teeth in the picture with the little girl.
Okay. Here's the thing.
Who's that kid?
Exactly. You have to specify, Garrett, who this child is.
It looks like his. She looks like him.
Well,
she does.
He looks like an uncle to me. I don't know.
They look really similar.
If it was his kid,
I
she would
agree.
have front placement. This is towards the back of his pictures. And this is why I think this is a niece or a friend's kid.
I think it might be his kid. And I think you have to put it, and he's leading up to it. He's like, here's me in the gym. Here's me in the army. Here's me and my daughter. You know what I mean? Like, if you're on board with all this, by the way.
Sure.
And if it's not your daughter, then you got to specify, because people are going to want to know.
Yeah. I have to say niece because her body language is that of someone who doesn't know this man as well. She's
I could see that.
I see here's somebody I see once a month.
But something about their glasses, maybe I'm just thinking that they're related because of the glasses. I don't know.
That's why I think that's a niece, because of the poor vision it just runs in the family. It really does. Garrett, I do like how you put yourself with a guitar in your last photo, showing us that you have a talent.
Yeah, I think that should maybe even be sooner, before the.
I guess he's showing he's like fun, but tough, but playful. Because like even at the gym, he's going to rep the Golden Girls. Maybe I take some things I said back. Now that I'm spending, you know what it was? Exactly. It was the initial scroll. Yeah. It felt like too much.
It's jarring when you see, I'm going to be honest, to me, it's jarring when you see a man bun and it's out of the blue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Garrett, you don't strike me as somebody who lives in Los Angeles. I think the man bun thing here was around 3 years ago. I have to put you in the Midwest somewhere because I would think the man bun might be hot. They're usually about 3 years behind in style.
No, he's.
Oh, there it is. It says CSUN.
He's here, hoisted. Baby.
I am so wrong. He's in Los Angeles.
Man bun knows no boundaries. You can man bun anywhere, including Los Angeles.
I apologize to everyone in the Midwest.
Like, I think he's trying to show he's a fun, loving, like silly, versatile guy. So yes, but for me, I think I'm coming to all of his feelings and I'm understanding his intentions with his photos now because I've spent quite some time looking at his profile. Yeah. My concern is if you give a profile and you're going to get a lot of initial reactions like I had, they're not going to spend the time looking at this and actually really considering it. So I feel like there's probably a better approach in the beginning of just this type of profile. Like just give your 3 best. Do you know what I mean? Like it just felt valuable. Like too much.
This to me is like
his cover photo, the first photo.
How much does a polar bear weigh enough to break the ice?
Hi, I'm Garrett.
I don't. Oh, hi, I'm
Garrett. That's what I said to you. Remember, I said, hi, I'm Kass. And then I proceeded to try and finger you.
Yes.
I said, how much does a polar bear weigh? And I did this with my hands. I said enough to break the ice. And then I did this.
Thank you for sharing that
remember?
With everyone. Yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday.
No, I did not finger Sara on our first date, please. Look, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I do want you to give him an overall rating out of 10.
Well, I have 2 different. He has 2 scores.
Are you okay?
This
seems like a lot of
I don't want to be.
You're not commenting on his appearance. You're commenting on the overall, the layout, what he's decided to say about himself, what he's decided to show. He's a good-looking guy. We're not trying to say anything other than that.
It's a 6.5.
6.5. Okay.
I'm going to give 2 different scores.
Oh.
I have like a 9 for when I like really like got it and spent time with it.
Yeah.
And then I have a 6.5 for if it was just like an initial scroll, I wouldn't have spent the time.
You spent time and you went up to a 9?
Yeah.
Wow. Garrett. Maybe you need to spend some time with Garrett.
I've spent enough time with Garrett.
Great. Garrett, I want to thank you so much for even submitting your photos to the pod. That's a very brave thing. I would give Garrett a 7.5. Seems like a very fun guy. I just think that cover photo, you're coming across as like some sort of wizard or sorcerer. And I think if you were to zoom out, maybe just show like a 3/4 shot. You look like you're got me cornered somewhere and you're going to date rape me.
Yeah. It's like he's holding us hostage
It's
in the
just
first
intense.
photo.
But Garrett, wonderful profile. Who's the fucking kid? Sorry about the man bun. Let your hair down, literally. And thank you guys. If you guys want to send us your dating profile photos for us to rate and comment and give advice to, this was all for free, by the way. All this valuable advice. Ask.
Yeah. Did you know I'm charging now?
Yeah. We're also on Instagram. Yeah, that's it. I got some Instagram questions, speaking of, and I told everyone you were going to be on the pod today. So some of these questions are for you and for everyone.
Okay.
For Sara. This is from Ryan Webster. He says, how impressed are you with Kass's fashion sense? He's super dapper lately. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, you have a really good sense of fashion.
What happened the other day?
The other day
with the denim.
I put on denim and white Converse and you said, I'm going to match you because we were going to go to my parents. So then you came out in denim and we had our Justin and Brittany moment.
Yeah. I thought your mom would really get a kick out of it.
She did.
Yeah. I love your parents.
Aww. My parents love you.
Well, they're just fun. You know what I mean?
They're kooky.
Your dad's sense of humor like really lines up, you know, with ours.
How great.
It's crazy.
It's funny because you know how like you talk to certain parents and they're like, usually everything they say, like if you were talking to people you work with, they'd be canceled or it would be problematic, but it's like, it's outside of work. It's just funny.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of how it is.
Yeah.
You know, with your folks.
Dad.
Here's one, and this is for you girls. What are some red flags when dating? I guess maybe less Jamie, but there used to be a time when you dated before you robbed the cradle. And
I was a terrible dater.
Okay. Well, yeah. What would be, if you were going to date now and if you were going to go date, what are some obvious red flags? Maybe things that you could even see in a profile picture, but maybe when you meet a person, things that they do or say, things that they wear.
Rings
on a man.
A guy with too many rings.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Only disappoint you. Also, a man who has like really, like, if he lives by himself and his home decor is like, there's a lot of like velvets and like really good attention to detail with like throw pillows and black candles.
Yeah,
he'll also disappoint you.
That's so funny you say that. I have a friend who has a very, very similar, I don't know what you would call that, like vampire chic.
It's like bachelor vampire.
Yeah. And
they're trying to like set a vibe, like a sex vibe, but it's like with no taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like more than one chain, rings.
Yeah.
You know, the closer he looks to Johnny Depp, you know,
the bigger the flag.
The bigger the flag.
Yeah. Or if he says like, if you meet him and he doesn't have a job right away. Red flag.
He's in between. He's in between.
He's in between. He's going to be always in between.
Okay. That's great.
Do you know what I mean? Especially if he's like in his 30s and he's in between. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Someone who I can't with a musician type. That's just me personally.
Well, yeah, I think that's good. But a lot of your friends really jam on the musician boys.
Yeah.
Are they boys or men?
They're men. You know, I mean, Topanga Canyon has a very specific vibe.
Did you ever spend time in Topanga Canyon, Jamie?
Mm-mm.
What's
Never
the
cool
reputation?
enough.
What's the reputation that it has in your head when you hear
Hippie?
about it? Yeah, crunchy. Just people walking around with their bare feet.
Earthing.
Everyone's
Earthing.
high. Everyone's stoned or microdosing mushrooms. Like,
it's accurate.
It's the Joshua tree of
LA.
Yeah,
definitely is. I mean, yeah, I have a neighbor who's like does sound baths, a healer,
right.
energy workers, those.
Everyone, all of them. They're all there.
Yes.
You have a healthy relationship with all that stuff, energy, sound. You know, you don't take too much of it as to where like you're weird,
kooky.
Yeah, but you take enough of it to where it's like this.
But you believe.
Like these rings.
Yeah.
She has like on her nightstand, she's got some crystals.
Yeah.
She's going to do a moon pot later.
Yeah, I'm going to do a moon pot because it's a new moon. So on the new moon, I burn my intentions for the manifestations. And then in 2 weeks when it's full, I do a release pot. And I write down, but like before I met you, I wrote down very specific things I want about a partner. And then I put it in the moon pot.
Yeah.
And a lot of
the collects comics.
I was like, collects comics. Yeah.
It's incredible at Rocket League.
Spends time in the metaverse.
Yeah. Goes to the metaverse. Gets bullied by kids. That's incredible. Okay. This one's we'll go to Jamie here. Ms. Caitlin says, if you could have dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be? I would pick Harper. Beau's ex. Figure out what happened.
I think this is a thing you have to think a long time about because you'll constantly change your mind. But honestly, the first person that came up in my head was Jim Gandolfini. Like, I would love to have dinner with him and tell him about my life right now. And like tell him like where I'm at, where I've been, how I've grown, because he was someone that like just got me. Even when I was trying to like fool everyone, he fucking got me. And like, he would just look at me and just kind of like give me this look like, I know you're in pain, or I know something's happening and you're not talking about it. But would never ask me or force it out. Just kind of like this, where it was almost like, I got you. I'm trying to describe it, but it's almost indescribable, of just like a feeling he always gave me. And so I would just love to tell him how much that meant to me and how much it helped me in a time when I like literally had no idea how to be vulnerable. And now I'm somebody who's like always wants to be vulnerable and be honest and true. And so I just would love to tell him that.
He'd be so proud of you.
Thank you.
What do you think he would have said after your Super Bowl commercial came out? What would he have said?
I think he would have laughed and then said like some kind of like diggy joke. Do you know what I mean? Like in a perfect way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rob and I spoke to Deborah, his widow, after the
recently?
commercial, and she texted us both to tell us how much she thought he would have loved it. And how happy she was to see it, and sent us a picture of their daughter. It was really nice. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's what makes this pod the best non-Sopranos Sopranos podcast.
This is true. I think this is the only Sopranos podcast where you ever just get stories like that. Like the human stories of the people behind it. Like Rob and I don't know how to fucking talk about cinema and like tell, you know what I mean? Like we just don't speak that way, but we can speak from the heart of, how the experience was.
I think that's what makes this show attractive to the people that like it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is an authenticity to it. And it is, I like how we're underproduced, but over authentic. Is that, don't put that.
I like it.
I gotta work on that.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to start come working for my company where we write things for people?
Any way I could make a buck, for sure.
By the way, do you like my new tattoo?
Oh yeah, let's get a close up of that.
So this one, it's
you
an
made
arrow.
A post of this.
Yep.
I love it.
With a C, a B, and a J.
For Cutter,
Beau, and Jack.
Beau and Jack, yeah.
So they are like
cute.
Yes, because this feels. So all of my tattoos are like just moments where I'm like, I want to remember this feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is And So It Is, which was my very first one, which I was in kind of a dark time. And I was like, worked really hard on myself and found like what spirituality worked for me, and like finally felt like I had like a sense of faith and connection. And I felt so good. And in that moment, I met Cutter. I had gotten a pilot. Like my life went from really bad for a few years to like, I was just feeling the reaps of the awards like that I'd been working for. Rewards. And so I wanted to remember that feeling. So I tattooed that. Lemonade is for my brother who passed away. But this one right now, I've been feeling like, and Kass, you know me for these years, like I've had moments where it's been hard, like, and I've had a hard time and I felt like I was struggling and like, this isn't working and I want to quit and like my body and I don't know how to wrap my head around all of this. And it felt really overwhelming and too much. And I just started to kind of like let go and learn to accept myself and not like pray or wish hard that things happen and just like trust that things would and work hard on my craft because I enjoyed it, not for anything else. And like life just started like supporting me. And I've just been feel like I'm on this ride and I'm feeling really good. And it's like that thing where they say like the arrow, like life can pull you back like an arrow because it needs to be able to let you fly. And I feel like I'm in that moment in my life. And so I wanted to remember it, but then I literally would not have been able to get through this without these three. So like they to me are like what built me to do this.
I love it.
That's great. And you carry it with you, you know, you can see it.
Exactly.
We're in the middle of a Jamie Sans, a Sigler Sans, if you
And then I got one more.
Oh, you got another one?
So this says MS. And I am also in this place with my MS where I'm like, I have you, but you don't have me. Like this job that I've had on Big Sky has been such a wonderful thing for me because they've kept me on a lot longer than I ever was supposed to. And I've never had this happen to me in a show. And it's because of my talent and how I portray the role. And they don't give a fuck that they have to work around shit for my MS. They never mention it to me. Every day I get there, there's somebody to hold my arm and walk me in, and they direct it the way I need to for my body. And I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like people still want me, even though I have this. And so I feel like I'm at this place of like a lot of self-acceptance and I don't want to forget it. So that's why I tattooed that on my arm.
That's great. I appreciate you sharing that. I'm sure everyone listening, feels closer to you for knowing that.
Who did the art?
Winter Stone.
I love it.
He is, cool you guys, man. You need to go to his Instagram tonight and just scroll he is the dopest. It's amazing. He's so delicate and so fast. I mean, and barely hurt. I mean, this took like 7 minutes.
Okay, I gotta find Winter Stone.
We're gonna look up Winter Stone. I suggest you guys watching this on YouTube and clicking on iTunes to listen to this. I suggest you guys follow us, subscribe to us. Where can we find you?
Hell yeah. Follow me at Princess Shank on Instagram and Twitter for comedy dates. Also check out my podcast, Shank. Kass was just on it.
Yep.
And then I have another podcast called This Bitch with Kimberly Congdon. That's a wild, fun podcast.
Great podcast. Thank you for coming on, baby.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was so nice to I feel like I got to like really know you this pod. And like we never been able to really hang out because I had to leave before you came home last week. But it was so fun to hang out with you.
Yeah, it was fun. So fun to spend time together.
Yeah. And that's it for our pod. Robbie, happy birthday, you son of a gun. And you guys will see him next week. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We have a TikTok. We're on Reddit. Our subreddit right now is in fuego. We have a couple people.
It makes me laugh
memes.
So
we see you guys. Like, we text each other the memes.
I just started going on it a few days ago. I just downloaded Reddit app. Like I don't go on Reddit. And all I do is go to the Pajama Pants and I cry laughing.
You heard it first here, guys. It's a great time to join like-minded people online.
I have to pee.
Well, you're excused.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us on our pod. And thank you guys. We'll see you in the next one.